Hey, welcome to your next best step with Brek Cockrell, the locker room for purpose-driven leaders. This is where we slow down, reflect, and we take our next best step through real stories, practical strategies, and rooted leadership wisdom. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, even the best leaders need a coach in their corner.
Hey friends, welcome to your next best step. This is the leaders locker room where we slow down, get honest, stay curious, and build the kind of leadership that lasts. I'm your host, BC. Let's get going. Hey, before I talk about what I want to talk about today, I want to give you one thought that's kind of been percolating in my mind as I've been working with leaders over the past month or so. We're toward the end of the year. We know we've got 6-7 weeks left before the year is over and we step into a new year. And this thought keeps coming through my mind, and it's this: 2026 doesn't start with a plan. It starts with paying attention. What if we hesitated, paused, and putting a plan together for 2026, and we actually did something a little different, and that was pay attention? Here's where this kind of comes from. So back in the fall of 2028, I learned a leadership lesson that I've never forgotten, and it's impacted me like in every aspect of my life, basically. At the time, our church, just a new church, was transitioning out of a portable setup in a Regal Theater into an old Catholic church that we had purchased. And it was in the northwest corner of Buffalo. And it was a community that I was not overly familiar with. And it wasn't that far from the Regal, but it was a different community. It was a community that was considered under-resourced, undervalued, underappreciated. And, those kind of the communities are the kind of communities we often drive around, or we just kind of drive through. They're not a destination point. And so we were in this new community, and someone challenged me to attend a conference that I had never really heard of. It was called CCDA, Christian Community Development Association. They have a national conference. And so I said, hey, sure, I'll go. I need to, don't know what I don't even know when it comes to pastoring in a city context and that kind of context. And so I went, got there early, jumped into a pre-conference workshop on the 8 essentials of CCDA. It's a framework that Dr. John Perkins, who has since become one of my heroes of the faith, that he had crafted out from doing decades of work in the South and Mississippi. And that afternoon, Coach Wayne Gordon, who was the pastor of Lawndale Community Church in Chicago, stood in front of a room of us leaders, pastors, community organizers, and said something that really changed the way I operate. And he said this: he says, if you're moving into a new community and you're what we would call a relocator, and kind of describe the community that we were moving into: under-resourced, undervalued, underappreciated. He says, if you're moving in there and you're relocating in there, before you do anything else, you need to listen. Don't start a new program. Don't start anything. Just take a year and listen. I thought, what are you talking about? I don't need to take a year and listen. And then he went on to say it this way. He said, this is what the rhythm of listening does. And it's usually the opposite. He said, if you're relocating into a new community, you need to listen, reflect, and then respond. So often we as leaders, we assume we know what a community or people might need. And so we respond, and then it doesn't go well. And then we start to reflect. And then we might start to listening. So instead of doing it that way, just start out by listening, reflect, respond. Go in with your ears open, ask questions, stay curious, listen deeply to the people who already call that community home. Reflect on what you hear, and then and only then respond. And sitting in that room in a city I didn't live in, learning from leaders who had lived this out for decades, I realized we don't just relocate into neighborhoods. We relocate into new seasons, new roles, new opportunities, new years. And we should enter them the same way. Listen first, reflect second, respond third. But here's the problem most leaders that I'm working with are experiencing right now, today. He said they're tired. They've been grinding through new budgets for the next year. They feel under-resourced. They've experienced wins this year, so many of them, but it doesn't feel like wins because they've never slowed down long enough to even notice the wins. You ever felt that way? We're already planning 2026, but they haven't listened to their own life, to their own team, to their staff, to their clients, to their customers. They haven't reflected on the year. They haven't paid attention to the patterns, the habits, their leadership. And that's a recipe for disorientation when you head into a new year. Because here's the truth. It's not our intention that leads us to our preferred destination. You hear that? It's not our intention that leads us to our preferred destination. It's our attention. Every leader has great intentions, but your attention reveals the truth. What are you worried about? What are you avoiding? What are you clinging to? What are you ignoring? What are you chasing? What's driving your decisions? What's shaping your emotions? What's leading your leadership? Your attention becomes your direction, and your directions become your destiny. So here's the question I want to put for you today. This is a little different episode because it's not just something I want for you. This is something I want from you. It's a both and. I want you as leaders to experience something. And so I'm going to ask you to possibly step into something that I've created here with BC Leadership Company. What are you paying attention to? And is it leading you to your preferred destination, or is it leading you away from it? This is where I take every leader I serve as we enter into a new year. Executive teams, founders, presidents, vice presidents, nonprofit leaders, every high capacity professional I'm working with. And we start with this incredibly simple but incredibly powerful filter. Stop, start, continue. Stop. What do you need to stop doing because it's costing you clarity, confidence, energy? Start. What do you need to start doing because your future depends on it? Continue. What do you need to continue doing because it's already producing fruit? These three questions help leaders pay attention to what they're paying attention to. That's the beginning of the transformation. It's not so much a plan. We need a plan. It's not goals. We need a goal. It's not a new habit tracker, though we need to develop new habits. It's attention first, intention second, action third. Do you hear me? It's attention first, intention second, action third. It's a shift from reaction to awareness. And this is why I've been thinking and saying 2026 doesn't start with a plan. It starts with paying attention. Because if you enter the new year without listening, without reflecting, without awareness, you're going to respond out of exhaustion, fear, pressure, or just habit. But if you enter the new year like a relocator entering into a new community, listening first, reflecting second, responding last, your leadership becomes grounded, centered, clear, confident, curious. So here is something that I've created, started it last year, and why I've built this out. This is a 21-day leadership accelerator called 26 is coming quick. And is it ever, right? It's the same rhythm that Coach Gordon taught me, the same rhythm that Dr. John Perkins has lived out. It's the same rhythm I've been using with leaders for almost 20 years now. It's not hype. It's not more hustle. It's not new year, new you. It's this: listen, reflect, respond. So this 21-day accelerator is a live experience. We're going to be doing it on Monday nights. It'll be great. It'll be with other leaders. I get so much when I lead masterminds or these kind of experiences, or if I've been in them. It's so helpful to do it in community versus in isolation, because I'm hearing other things. I'm bouncing things. I'm like, I've never even thought about that, right? So week one, we jump in and we reflect. What did 2025 teach us? Week two, we clarify what matters most for us in 2026. And then week three, we activate. What actions align with who we want to become, how we want to lead, what's next for our teams, our staff, our businesses, right? So we have daily prompts, we have group calls, real conversations. It's a community that really does this together. It's a lot of fun. It's really helpful. No pressure at all, but it's very impactful. If you walk through these 21 days, my hope and what I know, what I've experienced personally and what others have experienced is that you won't enter into 2026 just kind of winging it or scattered or overwhelmed. You'll enter in feeling clear. You'll have confidence. You'll have some clarity. You'll walk in with a little bit more curiosity. You'll feel energized, and you'll be intentional. You'll enter as a leader who listened before you led, and responded with wisdom, not out of just pressure. So this is what I hope for you to do. I'd love to have you be a part of this. One of the people leaders who did it last year sent me a text and just said, "Hey, it was a great process to help me think through some things I was thinking about for this past year, and now looking back, some of those things that he was curious about, some of the things that he kind of put in place over that 21 days, man, some things really became clear. He made some big changes in his life, and now looks back and just the power of those 21 days that kind of prompted that. And that's what I want for each of you. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I lead all my the leaders that I walk through. This is kind of the rhythm that we do it. And I want to open it up to the community in large. And we've got 2 weeks to register. So this is what I need for you to do. Go to bcleadershipco.com. This is my website, bcleadershipco.com. I've got a free 26 leadership assessment. It's going to help you to start paying attention before you start planning. And then you can join the accelerator there. Really going to be helpful. I'd love to have many of you join and be a part of this. It's going to help you really get some clarity and to be thinking about what you help you to pay attention to what you pay attention to, right? And so it emphasizes we don't start 2026 with a plan. We start with paying attention. So, hey, go to my website, bcleadershipco.com. Grab your free 2026 leadership assessment. That's you to have. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to join or anything like that. And then you can also join the accelerator. 2026 is coming quick. Well, hey, this is a short episode today. This is really what I wanted to drop in and talk about. I've got some amazing guests lined up over the next few weeks. Looking forward to jumping back in and interviewing some leaders really from around the world and seeing how some common issues, some common things, and how do we take our next best step in our relationships, in our leading, in our development, all of those things. So look forward to seeing you. This has been I hope this has been a helpful little session in the locker room today. Keep tending to trust and curiosity. Take your next best step and know I'm in your corner. Until next time, we're out.